You could be wiser as an educated advisor. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, the college funding evolution, part 5 in our series on the opportunities in college funding with financial advisor John McDonough of the college funding evolution. Welcome to the 5th segment, John.
Thank you.
John, I want to talk about, this is a huge opportunity for advisors. And if you're a consumer watching this, you're going to pick up the information that could really help you. And you might want to ask your advisor, hey, you need to talk to John to kind of get up to speed so you can help us. Let's talk about the whole opportunity as far as a business plan, a practice. I think of myself as a fully comprehensive planner. I think many of my baby boomers especially. But if we really said, how much do you know on college funding? I think we'd be sitting there grasping for straws.
Right.
I mean, I might know the Coverdale. I might know the 529. But I don't know how to really help my clients and where the money is to help them send their kids to school.
Yeah, it's a shame. When I teach advisors around the country and I ask them, word association, college planning, what comes to mind? Almost all of them answer 529 plans. It's weird. They answer with the vehicle, not with the planning solution, right? Mm-hmm. So what we do is we coach and train and teach our advisors from start to finish. This is how you train your clients. This is how you educate your clients. They first have to understand the right school for the right fit for the right reason. Then they got to understand the costs, and then they got to understand the financial aid formulas, and then where the money's coming from, the cash flow modeling. We coach our advisors from start to finish all the way through that model.
Now, this is almost formal training.
It is formal training.
It is formal training. So when you're doing this, I have my training, I'm done. But, I need help on the first two or one or two, maybe three.
Yeah.
What kind of you have a success coach? Is that you yourself, or who's actually doing that sidebar issue?
Yeah, we have a personal success coach for every advisor that comes into play. They're assigned a personal success coach.
Is that right?
And what we do is when they come on board, they'll have a welcome call with our success coach. They'll set up their weekly phone calls with the success coach, and we'll help them all the way through the process, but it's just-in-time inventory when it comes to what they need to know. All too often, advisors come into college funding evolution and they automatically want to start talking about back-end case design and what's our philosophies. And we're happy to have those discussions, but they first need to focus on how do I run a workshop, how do I hold a workshop, how do I educate at a workshop, then how do I do a first appointment, how do I properly ask the questions in the first appointment, how do I get a client to become a client of ours, so on and so forth.
This is so process-driven that we can't break formula, and why would you want to? It's been so successful.
They have to trust the process.
Okay. All right, so I have my own personal coach. He's got a little accountability there, right? I have to check in and do my homework.
On a weekly basis, yeah.
Okay. What about the access to the tuition score? Because I love that idea of posting that on my site.
Yeah. Exclusive to College Funding Evolution advisors is the My Tuition Score report. And it can be distributed in a couple different ways. You can distribute it individually to prospective clients, or you might have some retirement clients now that have children or grandchildren in college or high school that they need to run the report on. Or you can distribute it at an organizational level. So we can create special VIP codes. Our College Funding Evolution advisors can create special VIP codes and distribute it to your business owners to give to their employees, or the HR manager, or churches, soccer leagues, wherever you want to drive value for all of those individual families. And every time they run the report at no cost because you distributed it, otherwise it would cost them $79. But every time they run the report, our advisors get an email notification, and they can then follow up with that family either in a group setting or in an individual setting to help them understand the output of the report.
Now, you told me it takes us about 10 minutes for the client to go through this.
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
User-friendly.
Completely.
Easy to do.
Anybody can do it.
Got to kind of know a few of the academic sides of their child, their ACT, SAT scores, what their GPA.
Which I would say 99% of the families in this space do know.
They do know.
And if they don't, that's a huge red flag. Imagine having a senior or junior of your own and not knowing their class rank. How are they doing in school? What are their SAT scores? That'd be a huge red flag.
Of course, I think if it was me, my parents wouldn't want to know my SAT score. So, monthly coaching. Now, is this separate from the personalized coach?
Separate from the personalized coach. So we have two different types of monthly coaching that the advisors get access to. They learn, and once a month they have their first appointment training. It's a different first appointment because we're having a first appointment about college, not finance, right? So the first appointment setup and formula and outline is a little bit different, so we coach them on that. And then I personally run another training once a month for back-end sales training. When it comes to strategy and design and cash flow modeling and what are the solutions, I do that once a month as well.
Okay, so they have their personal coach, they have their monthly coach
For the first appointment.
for advanced training and so forth. Okay, now when I have this advanced training, how many? You have a lot of people already engaged in this process. What do you think the average advisor is doing in total seminars right now? Is he doing one a month? Is he doing two a month? What is he doing?
Yeah, so for our advisors, I would say that are in this part-time off the side of their desk, they're still super successful, but they want to do the workshops. They're doing about one a month on average. Some of our most successful advisors that are very, very, very good producers, they use this marketplace for junior advisors. So they have one or two junior advisors that are doing one or two workshops a month, and then the senior advisor comes in for the back-end planning.
Well, I like that idea because I think that supports the advisor. He's coming in and he gives them a pretty good idea of what's going on. Other people are doing about one a month. Some are doing twice a month. Kind of gives me an idea how much I can do.
Well, my first year of doing this space, I did 43 workshops in 1 year. Wow. I don't recommend that.
Oh. Okay, so there's a diminishing return here. Okay. All right, so I have my sales calls training. I have my average. I'm thinking in my mind one a month. That doesn't sound bad to start out with.
Remember, 10 times ROI on each workshop that you do.
Oh no, I mean I'm all over that, and that's a huge number. You have other advisors that these advisors watching could call up to get the kind of third party look at you.
Oh, we've got such a good network of advisors, and we've had advisors that have been with us for years that have had conversations with other advisors kicking the tires. Like, don't take my word for it. Talk to one of these other advisors, because of course I'm going to promote the process because we built it. But we have other advisors that bought in just like other advisors are thinking about buying in, and they've been uber successful with the program.
Access to live college funding, the whole evolution. It's always evolving. You're changing. I noticed you change some of your stuff on your site all the time. You're upgrading.
What I did is I took my retail business and I put it in a space that other advisors can learn from my mistakes. They can minimize the pain and suffering of my personal mistakes. So anytime I change something in my personal practice and we become more efficient or we learn something new, we upload that to the College Funding Evolution site, and all of our members get access to that as well.
Now, you also have reference material on your site that talks about, hey, how to do a FAFSA. You know, I'm going to the feds to go see how much I can get from there. My Pell Grant, I'm going to go look at there. I'm going to look at the zero interest. You have all these different loan options and alternatives that are on your site to look at, and I think that's really great. How much would you say, from a strictly advisor, he's coming online, how much of the tutorial process, when do you think he's really up to speed? Is it a 30-day process if he gets into this?
No, because it's less than that, because we teach the advisor to outsource the student academic side of it to our third-party vendor that does all of that. They do the personality profile assessment, the career matchmaking assessment. They do the essay review, the application review, the SAT test. They do all that. We are financial advisors. We know life insurance, annuity, investments. We know planning modules. That's what we want our advisors to do in the context of college planning.
And we're going to get these reports back to us as the advisor.
Yes.
And do I know what the numbers mean? Is it pretty straightforward?
It's pretty straightforward. We have a glossary of terms. It's pretty straightforward, but advisors can pick it up. You say 30 days, I say 2 weeks.
All right, let's say I'm a dedicated guy and I'm 2 weeks in. When I'm looking at my client database, this is a new client database. I'm going 15 years down below the normal retirement, Gen X, Gen Y. Have you noticed any personality differences between boomers and Gen X Yers?
Yeah, I have. Because we're in an urgency-based market, the time it takes them to make a decision to proceed forward is exponentially shorter. Because we have seniors, juniors, that they are terrified on what they're going to be able to do to pay for their kids' education, and they're most concerned about how are they going to protect their retirement in the process. And our advisors have the answer that these families urgently want. So that's the biggest. There's no more, let me think about it. There's no more kicking the tires.
Adding this module of college education to your overall comprehensive planning could be a game changer for a lot of advisors.
That's the expectation.
And think about it, we're talking to a whole new group of people that we never talked to before. And we could be getting their retirement on top of the actual college.
You're getting that client for a 15-year longer window of time than what most families are going after, or what most advisors are going after in the Social Security or long-term care marketing space.
Well, John, I want to thank you for coming in and talking about and sharing the opportunities in college funding for all of our advisors out there. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas you heard on this show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your compliance officer. And don't forget, you can subscribe to my consumer show, Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game. Daily content that you can post on your website, social media accounts, and database distribution. I'm Steve Savant. Thanks for watching.